Hey guys, Jason Nedved here with Nedved Precision Shooting. We got Michael over here also. We are getting ready to go to an NRL22X match in Wyoming. So it's gonna be about a 5-hour drive. We're gonna stop in Rapid City, go to, the Longhorn. We're gonna go over there. We're waiting on Grant and Scott. They're gonna ride over with us also. So it's gonna be a good little road trip. Gonna go shoot, remember what the match name is? Something Snowmen.
Compound 21, Snipe'em Snowmen.
Snipe'em, yeah, that. Snipe'em Snowman.
Snipe'em.
Snipe'em. So yeah, that. So we're gonna go shoot that. We got our voodoos. We're bringing 3 voodoos in this truck. I got some products, so if anybody needs something last minute, even got some Lapua long range ammo in there. All kinds of stuff, tripod, bipods, all kinds of stuff. So bring that to all the matches. We're just getting packed up, waiting for Grant, and we're gonna get on the road. After 6 hours of being on the road, we hit some weather. I don't know if you can see it very well, but we hit some weather and we were doing about 15 mile per hour. 10 to 15, 20 mile per hour, 25, and then this SUV thing just flew by us, this hatchback thing, and I said, well, they must be a local if they're hauling ass. So we followed them and finally got here. But yeah, after Rapid City we hit this weather and it's been pretty brutal. But we just got in the hotel, we got all the equipment in the hotel, and we are ready for tomorrow. We're gonna hit the sack here and then hopefully see everybody in the morning. Hopefully have a little less snow tomorrow, but it should be a muddy mess with a high of 35, 37 or something like that. So we'll see you tomorrow. Hey guys, so we're at the range now in Newcastle at the Compound 21 NRL22 match, the Shoot 'em Up Snowmen. And we got here, we got about 1.5 inches of snow, 2 inches of snow last night. So everything, they're getting everything swept off, doing a really good job. All the props look like they're thawing out a little bit with the sun shining. And it looks like it'll be a good time. They got stuff going up all the way down the tree belt here. So all the way down that tree line out there. And then you got all the barricades here. And then you got a boat and some stuff over here. But what I did find that looks familiar is our buddy Atlas Target Works. Those are his hangers there, so that's pretty cool. It was 10 degrees. It's warming up to about 26, so it's warming up pretty quick, and hopefully we'll have some good groups in this cold weather and see how it goes.
You ready? Yep. Stand by. Engage. Impact. No. Impact. Impact. Oh, yeah. Impact.
No, not mad. I'm just saying. Here.
Impact. Impact. Impact.
Well, you beat your old score.
Yeah, that's good. Impact. Impact. Impact.
Time?
30.
30?
Plenty, yeah. 25. Impact.
Woo! There you go. Impact. 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 Impact.
Woo!
Nice shoot.
I'll take that.
Nice shoot.
You clean it?
Yeah.
Good shit, bud.
I don't know how. No idea how.
First place, 870, is Jason Nedved. And our top overall shooter is Jason Nedved with an 870. Thank you. Good shooting.
We just got done with the shoot 'em up snowman, shoot. What is it?
Snipe'em snowmen.
The Snipe'em snowman. So we just got done sniping snowmen over here in Newcastle, Wyoming. Yeah, I'm tired. And we just finished up, and we're kind of gonna go do a little talk about our little debrief, what we screwed up, what we could have done better. We got me, Jason Nevitt, obviously. Then we got Michael Fast here, buddy I've been shooting with for a year now. And we got Grant back here. I don't know if you can see him. We know everybody. There you go, Grant. In the Young Gun division. Then we got his dad, Scott, that comes over and does a great job being squad mount for everybody. So that's been great. He comes to the NPS matches in town at our place, and it's great having him on our squad. So what were you saying right at the beginning? Your first three stages?
First three stages, man, that's like.
What was first one? First one was the truck.
First one was the bed of the truck. It's leaning over top of the cab. KYL at 40, KYL at 65. And then you had to hit a cloud at 200 yards and couldn't find the win.
Did you ever do the paint job on these targets at this match?
Just, yeah, that was terrible. But couldn't find the win. So, sometimes your impact was left, sometimes it was right. Didn't know where it was, and that's costly.
Yeah.
On a 12-round stage, you only have 4. It's costly.
Yeah. But then what was the next squad? Or the next stage? Or Grant, how'd you do on the Ford truck?
I did pretty good on the KYLs. I couldn't really find my way down the left.
Oh yeah, the clown. So yeah, the KOLs, I think you hit right away, didn't you?
Yeah.
And then the clown, we couldn't find that at all. And for me, I think I missed that KOL twice. The first, the large one, that close, because there's a piece of bark in the way or something like that. So I was aiming at the stem, so I didn't know if the bullet was going to go over or what. So yeah, I just aimed at the stem, but then when I hit that on my third shot, then I was able to hit the other ones, and everything else was fine.
Stage 2 was the interesting one.
What was that?
Stage 2 is the pipe.
Oh yeah, so they had this pipe hanging from the tree on this long rope. This what? Half-inch pipe?
Half-inch pipe at what, 50 yards or something?
Yeah, and it doesn't seem bad, but then you are waiting for this little piece of pipe on this 10-foot of rope hanging from a tree to stop swinging. And I was running out of time, so I had to rush that. So that was interesting for sure. I think it dropped a few there.
That was 10, drop 4.
But we also said it wasn't bad, because what do we say right after? We gotta get one of these at home.
Oh yeah, we said, yeah, well, it's too fun. It's too much fun.
You gotta kind of ambush it, but it's kind of swinging around. It's kind of hard to see that. No, yeah.
It doesn't stay. It doesn't swing left to right or front to back. It's circling and left and right. The momentum of it's just really hard to gauge.
Yep. So that was just something fun, interesting, just different tactic on technically a mover. What did you think of that one, Graham?
It was pretty difficult.
Yeah. Because, yeah, there was other targets with the pipe. It wasn't like the pipe was the only target. There was other stuff going on, but...
Yeah, the other targets were, what, a mil wide?
Yeah.
Either it was huge or a big target, so you could be off a little bit. That pipe was tricky.
Yeah.
The ambush, that was fun.
The ambush?
Yeah, the ambush.
The Deadwood ambush? What was that?
the 4 Cowboys. Oh,
the Cowboys.
oh, we had a little issue on that one, don't we?
Yes, we did.
So let's go over that real quick.
It was fun, but it was an issue.
Gosh. So on that one, correct me if I'm wrong, we had tires set up on either side, and then you had this log set up on these tires. So it's kind of bouncy. It worked out pretty well, but you had to go position 1, position 2, and then go back to position 1, position 2. Well, I read that as position 1, position 2, left to right. You read left to right. That's the way I took that. So I shot left, but you had to shoot target 3. But with the wind, you had to hold over left, but target 2 was like right in your way. And I asked, what, Devin, your right fly shot, was that in the way? Oh, no, it's fine. I'm like, okay. So I laid down and I'm like, that is right in the way. But I tried to sneak it by. And I did, but I missed the target. So I held more wind, shot. I think you said I shot wrong target. I'm like, no. And then I look at it and I'm looking at the 3 because you can't dial. So you had to hold over only. So I was focused on my 3. Then I look up on my crosshairs. Yeah, centered out right in the center of that other sombrero guy. So I hit that guy, and then I was just like, okay, so let's look at this and go as far right as I can to try to sneak a bullet by. And then I was able to watch contact.
Once you got past that one, you ended up with a 9 out of 12. Once you ended up past that, so it wasn't so bad.
Yeah. But then you were after me.
I was after you.
You did the same thing.
Well, I did the same thing, but worse.
Twice.
But worse. 3 times. 3 times. You got shot on it. And the first thing Mark says to me, he's like, wrong target. And I was like, no, Mark, that's wrong. Mark is wrong.
Yeah.
I'm shooting the right target.
Yeah.
So I shot it again, thinking, I've been through this twice. Everything's right.
Yeah.
Wrong target.
Got it.
What are you talking about? So then he's in my head, and we're on the clock, wasting time.
Yeah.
Finally got it figured out, got moved to my next position, started making some impacts. But by the time we got through that, I was out of time. I was typed out.
Yeah. And so, yeah, but Mark did fully engage for 4 rounds the wrong target. Remember, he wanted to do a target one?
Yeah.
And it's like, sent it because he heard your timer going off. And mulligan. Yeah. Gets off. He's like, what happened? Yeah, mulligan. Okay. Yep. Not a problem. Did you start on the right-hand side or the left?
I started on the right hand side.
So you learned
After Sable is happening.
yeah,
Yes.
after our issues.
No, that was a 16 round.
Was it?
That was a 16 round.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, because it was 4 per, wasn't it?
Right, 4 per
4 targets.
4 per target.
Yeah, and it was like a weird order, like target 4, target 2, target 3, target 2, target 4,
1.
then target 1, and you had to move to position 1, position 2, position 1, position 2. Yeah, after our idiot moves, what everybody else did, position 2.
Yeah, we were at the beginning to take.
Yeah, then you went right, left.
Stage 4 was an urban mile, 400 yards, 12 rounds.
Yeah, as soon as I figured out the way in that one went by fine. You had to go on the stairs. Yeah, no problem, I got you. You cleaned that, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, that one was, what, 12 rounds?
12 rounds, 400 yards.
Yeah, 400 yards is a very graceful or very generous, that's what I'm looking for, target. At 400 yards, big yellow plate. It had a lot of impacts all over it, and had to just figure out your wind and then go. Yeah, it had an
indicator on it, so that really made like...
Had a C1000 top right corner. But yeah, I went in there with like 1.5 mil of wind, and I'm like, I'll catch this plate. Shot, no idea. So then I went like, God, no way I missed this huge plate. So I held 2.5 mil of wind and missed again. I'm like, oh my gosh, there's no way there's that low of wind, 400 yards.
400 yards, that little way.
And then it was 0.5 mil. So I put 0.5 mil center target and shoot. They say impact. I'm like, okay, so I followed it up right away. Then I have to move positions and then just stayed that 0.5 mil. And then you came up after me with 0.5 mil.
I got my supper, by the way.
Yeah, wherever we stopped. Yeah. Here you that 0.5 mil and you did fine. Were you before or after me, Grant?
One was after me.
And how'd you do?
You guys might have gotten a 7.
A 7 on that one?
Good.
Because your guys' wind was weird on that cloud. Wasn't that cute? Like a lot hour for yeah. Yeah, because on stage 1, we were hitting that clown at what, a half mil or something like that. Yeah. You guys needed what?
Whipped off the right edge. We tried over that.
Yeah, then they were eating over mil, so that was crazy. What else do you got?
Wyoming Safari, we shot a moving target at 87 yards, and then we shot a coyote. If you hit the vital, it was 5 point or
5 points.
5 points in an impact with 10 points.
Body.
You flash the vital.
Yep, right.
Yeah, so you had to flash the vital. Then there was a bobcat, same thing at 125 yards.
Yep.
5 points on an impact, but 10 if you flash the vital.
So what do we learn about mover? What's every mover?
We need every mover.
Every mover is like the mil and a half.
No one
One,
wants
two,
Yeah.
mil and a half.
no matter what.
Center fire, rim fire.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah. So this mover was at what, 57 you said?
87. 87, and it was 1-3.
Yeah, I did 1-2, leading edge.
Yep.
So it would have been 1 followed at center. So yeah, that's what we learned about that one. And I think I dropped 1 on the mover, and then I dropped a vital, my first vital on the bobcat.
Yeah, you ended up with
I hit a body
7.5.
Yeah, or 105. Yeah, 105.
Yep.
Or something like that. Yeah, because I missed the first mover. Yeah, that makes sense. So yeah, just getting that mover. I rushed that first shot. I just get excited on mowers. I know I got one at home, but it's still that first shot.
Oh,
I get excited. Yep.
because it's a mover.
Yep, it's a mover. The Grant used a mulligan, didn't you?
Yeah, originally I had a 3, and then I missed a lot of the shots on, or I missed a lot of the vitals, and then I missed a lot of the movers, so then I used a mulligan, and then I think I got a 7.
75.
75.
75, yeah, the NRL scoring. Yep.
I ended up with 11. That was when I really started using my groove finally.
Oh, there's
Stuff stages were brutal, and then finally,
So do you ever run this phone, or how do you get 11? Or 110?
I never missed a
I
mover.
thought you said you got bodies or something.
I think I had 2 bodies on Bobcat.
Oh,
Yeah, 2 bodies on Bobcat. I flashed it the last one.
gotcha. So that's when you started coming into it. And then what? Diamonds?
Diamonds.
So I mulligan that one.
Worth it. Diamonds. Stage 6. Yeah, so that was fun.
All right, go ahead and explain.
That was confusing. So on the star signal shooter takes, engages the target as follows. There was a big REA spool, electrical wire, not tipped on the flat end, but tipped upright. So you had to start on top of the spool and shoot the diamonds far, center, near, and then you had a dueling tree. You had to flip it, and you had to flip that to move on. So then your next position was the center of the spool, near, center, far, and then you had to do the same thing, flip the dueling tree to move on. Then you had to go back to the top of the spool, center, near, far, and then the dueling tree again. Same thing, and it was ranges from 90 to 150.
And that was 12 rounds.
12 rounds.
No mandatory mag change on that one.
So that one was really cool. Started out great. I think I had my first 8 impacts. I think I had my first 8 impacts on it. Was going great, was going fine. In transition of moving, I drop it back. Well, you're doing weird positions of dialing, and I dialed everything. And just started to run out of time. I started doing holdovers on the end, and that's when, yeah, things just kind of went south. But ended up good on it. Ended up with a 9 out of 12 for dialing everything. That really wasn't too bad, but probably could have done better.
Yeah, there's that one I was thinking about. Do you dial? Do you hold over? I even had a plan B on my dope card because if I was running out of time.
Sure.
So, and that's why I messed up first in it.
You mulligan that?
Yeah. What'd you do, Graham?
Glad a 9.
Got a 9.
You dialed that. Nice.
Did you dial everything or do any holdovers? There you go. Made a great tie down that one. I think I got like a 6 or a 7 on that one. But I was trying to do my plan B, and because I thought I was running out of time, and it just wasn't going well, and yeah, I don't know what happened, but I got like a 6 or a 7 on that one, and then I mulligan that. I didn't even get off my rifle. I shot that last one and like mulligan. That was all there is to it. And so then you shot, and then I had my win figured out, because at the end of it, it's like, okay, well, I already knew I was going to mulligan it. So then I took my time to get the wind figured out, making sure I dialed it and got the wind correct.
No, I started that stage. You were at you. Then you followed, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you were in Chile or something.
Oh yeah, I was.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then, then that. But either way, I took my time and figured out my wind because I knew I was going to mulligan it. Went back and shot again, and then I ended up cleaning it. So that was a very good use of a $10 mulligan.
Correct.
So yeah, I was happy with that. But that was a lot of movement, a lot of dialing. Or not a lot of movement. It was 3 movements, but that was a lot of dialing. What, 5 targets? 4 targets.
4 targets.
4 targets.
4 targets, but you're at extreme distances.
So,
gotta keep in mind, it's 22. There's a lot of dialing.
So yeah, good use. Mulligan. I cleaned one finally, so I was happy.
Stage 7 was the triple trap. This was not scored.
Yep.
It was its own separate stage. It was a money stage.
But it sounds like it's a local thing that they do all the time.
Yeah, he said a bunch of people were upset about it, so he thought it a good idea to keep it there.
Oh, well, that makes sense to me.
Exactly.
Speaking as match director, yeah. They just had a bunch of Army men at
there were
a bunch of different distances.
A bunch of Army men from distances to 50 to 120. 10 rounds, you had to shoot 50, 100, 60, 100, 70, 110, 80, 110, 90, 120. So it's just a lot of moving, a lot of targets. On the tank trap, there was 7 tips, and you had to utilize 5 of them tips.
Yeah, there's 3 different tank traps.
Yeah.
So going across them. And they were at different heights, angles, and it wasn't just like, just go straight across. Grant, you started that one.
Yeah, I did not do good. I got I think.
Yeah, I think you did. Good thing I wasn't scored though, right?
Hey.
And that was the one
I wanted to be scored.
And then other guys didn't want to go, so Mark went, and then I went, and then you went.
I went.
And then Mark went, then I went, then you went. But we were scoring good on it, but we were just trying to improve on our own score and donating money, whatever.
Fast.
Not a big deal.
Number 8, so back on the normal course of fire, was spinning from the top. That was cool.
That was a cool. So we're in Newcastle, Wyoming, and it's in the west side of the Black Hills, right? Basically.
Yeah.
And looked like almost a cliff with the snow and stuff like that, but it was a steep decline to where you're shooting down and hard left at the spinner that was in between 2 little trees, and then you got to go hard right at even steeper angle.
Support side.
Weak side, support side, supported side. And that was extreme there. But my problem was I got on that spinner, my glasses fogged up when I breathed on it to get down to that angle. So then I couldn't see the spinner. I could see the yellow of the spinner.
I seen you throw one, but I didn't know what happened.
Yeah. And I'm like, oh, no way. So yeah, I ended up getting the 5, got a spun, got the gravity popper at 30-some yards or whatever, 30, 35. And then back to the spinner, got a spun in, I think, 3 or 4. And then missed my last shot because your clock was going like, hey, you got 10 seconds left or 15 seconds. And I'm like, oh, I didn't even got on the other one to dial back down. And then I forgot to dial. Then you said, did you nick it? And like, no, I forgot to dial down 4/10. And after I put off the shot, it smoked that trendy.
2/10 dialed.
I had 2/10 elevation. I only go down 4/10 from that, or down 2/10, but 4/10 from where she was.
Sure.
So that's why,
That was fun. That was not something you normally see.
Yeah, where we're at, it's just flat.
This isn't a hill. This is like an actual drop.
Yeah, it was a steep angle. Did you ever get a spun, Grant?
A lot of that, though, was weak side at the angle we were at.
That was difficult.
Because sitting up at an angle on this rooftop, shooting down this way, and it wasn't like you were just there shooting straight down. You were angled far right, from far left to far right. And then finding the target was not even necessarily the easiest thing either.
Yeah, that was steep, but it was a cool scenery because it was like you had to walk down this hill full of snow right now and ease your way down there and then get on this slick rooftop. It wasn't slick at the top where we were at, but like at the bottom where the snow was kind of sloughing up on it, that was slick.
Yeah,
you got to be on some Yeah, you dropped a meg. And then your Scott's like, well, how far to go down? It didn't. But yeah, that was cool. Just walking down on that.
Stage 9 was on the spools. Don't miss the window.
I could not find those targets. Saved my life.
It's awesome.
Because these targets were 190 yards. They're like through these trees, and I'm like looking down this hill because we're still kind of on the hilly bit, and I could not find it. And they're like, look through the window. I'm like, I'm looking through all these trees. Where are they? And then finally someone said, no, they're up across the valley. Oh,
Yeah, it was a narrow window too.
Yeah.
Like even the spotter had to be, you couldn't be a foot off.
yeah,
You wouldn't have been able to see you. You had to be in the perfect position to see you.
yeah.
But that was 190 yards, 8-inch and a 6-inch. But that was really confusing because the wind was really switchy over there.
Yeah.
Shoot across that canyon.
Yeah, I kind of screwed the pooch on it. I got 6. And the sad part is that was 190 yards.
Yeah.
My KOL bracket is at 190 yards, all those diamonds. That'll shoot that 1-inch diamond at.
You had it going all back and forth.
Yeah, that was bad.
Like when
I should have just did 0 wind and just hope for the best.
because I ended up mulliganing the dark thing. And when I shot it, I found out where that wind was. By the time I was done, I think, did I have like 50 seconds left on the clock or something dumb like that?
Seems like.
Yeah, there was just a ton of time left, but I found that wind and I didn't want anything to change. But hey, got a 10 on it.
There you go.
This is the one I wondered for you, though.
What's that?
Stage 10, sharpshooting sharks.
I think it sealed the deal.
Definitely sealed the deal.
And then I had to recoup and get back into it. So I went and started looking at the next stage. And I figured that out. And it was a rope off of 2 trees. Just rope. And you guys are still shooting and having fun. And I was just trying to get back in my head, get things right. And I was ready. They said, hey, there's a shark over there and a shark over there. I'm like, okay. Like, they're marked by pink. I can't see it because you had to walk down this hill. And I wasn't going to bring my tripod down there. And it was a steep hill, slick. He said, there's a shark over there marked by pink. And there's a shark over there marked by pink. And I'm like, all right, let's go. You could use a tripod on that one, but you had to deploy it on the clock. So it had to be completely collapsed and legs all the way in, not just all gear in hand. So Shane came over, he was supposed to shoot first. He's like, I'm not ready. I was screwing around over there, keeping score or whatever, which is fine. We need that. And he's like, you can go if you want. All right, no, not a problem. This is our last stage of the day. So I went and grabbed my medium and heavy fill, Greyhouse plate, threw it on that rope, and just let the rifle balance, and that JE with that just worked out great. Just let it balance and ended up cleaning that one. So
A tripod was not the thing to do on that.
did you try it?
Yeah, there wasn't enough room for the tripod. And by the time I got down there, I kind of had it sort of set up, essentially pre-staged, but it's like, okay, I think this will work.
Mm-hmm.
And you get down there and you start moving and trying to get things set up and your gun up there and everything. And next thing you know, you got 2 rounds off and they're saying 1 minute.
Well, because to try to help you guys visualize this, you had to go down this steep, slick hill, not all on the clock, but then you were down there. It was still a little icy because we were in the shade there. Go down this steep hill, you're there, but there wasn't a lot of room, platform for a tripod because I looked at bringing my tripod down, but the way they had these targets is you had to shoot far twice and then go hard left, near twice, and then far twice. So you're going back and forth after 2 shots. And then mandatory mag change, and then far twice, near twice, far twice. So you're just transitioning at a pretty good angle. So that's why I kind of opted out for the tripod. But the RO also said it's a shark, and it's wide and about 3 inches tall. And I'm like, well, hopefully I can do that. So, and I did.
Left and right is good on something like that.
Yeah, left and right. I wasn't too worried about the wind. Like I told you, I just went right to center. It's my favorite right. But ended up doing fine. So you try tripod down there.
It was a failure because your tripod it looks okay. You think, okay, well, yeah, I can make this work, but Time to get this thing out and deployed, it takes up that much more room. And then you're fiddling around to get your bag on top of the rope. Then you got to get your gun on there, and then you're trying to get positioned, and suddenly you're two impacts in, and they tell you 1 minute. It's like, oh, wow, this is not good, you know?
What'd you use for a bag?
Schmedio. The only thing I should have done better was just throwing the tripod off the cliff and then start it over, but
Yeah.
because at that point, it was just in the way.
Gotcha. Yeah. What'd you end up doing over there, Grant?
I didn't use a tripod, but I did not get good. I got one, I think.
Yeah, that one's pretty difficult because it was a big, long rope. It wasn't like span between 3 feet to where it was a little taut. No, it was a big, sagging.
10, 15 feet.
Yeah.
Really just wobbly, just nuts it.
Yeah. How is that? Because you were shooting your Tika or a CZ? How is that balanced?
It balances pretty good.
Oh, okay. 'Cause that's what I was wondering. Like, I noticed that after I started getting rifles more balanced, shooting off of those kind of barricades where you have to rely on balance. You can't manipulate the rifle at all. Life became a lot easier once you got them balanced.
Yeah.
So that's why I was wondering about that. But then at the end of it, I had some stuff in the back of the truck. So talking to a bunch of people, sold out of ammo. So that's good. Wife will be happy about that. And then end up doing trophies. And that was one thing I've never seen done before. I read everybody's name.
Everybody from
bottom
to top.
Yeah. In each division, which I don't have a problem with, but you kind of get lost in it. You know, it's not like, hey, walk up to the prize table or anything like that. It was just like, this person got this, this person got this, this person got this. I've never had that in all
this kind of confusing.
Yeah, they were just rattling it off. And then they got to youth. And how'd you fare out there, Graham?
I got first.
You got first. You got your little trophy, right? Yep, show the cameras. There you go. Smile, buddy.
Nice.
So he got first in his division. And then obviously we were in open division with their booties and all that stuff here.
Yeah, but out of our squad, we ended up with
Just one of 6.
top 5.
Yep.
We got 5.
Does Devin won? What'd she get?
Second. Well, she will.
So it's Devin.
Yeah, second.
Devin was in ladies, so she got second place. Then we had you in 5th place. And then you want to look up the points?
Hard.
Yeah, hard points are. You have the points? I'll practice score it with. And then, yeah, Mark was in 4th, you said?
Mark was in 3rd.
3rd. Who was in 4th? Oh, Forbert. James. I think.
James was in 4th.
Yep.
I'm talking Mark Pulver.
Yeah, and then Mark Pulver in our squad. And then Shane in our squad. And then I ended up taking first. So, first match of the year.
Pretty successful squad.
Yeah. Yeah. So our squad we did pretty well. It's not like, you know, people say super squad or whatever. It's not like we're helping each other out. We were just having fun, and we did help each other that 400-yard target.
Yeah. There's areas you help each other out.
Yeah, let me figure out the win for y'all.
Hey, I had the same thing. Oh, yeah. Little diamonds out there or whatever. What was your win?
Yeah, you're like half. And I'm like, okay. Because you did well. I remember watching it. I thought you did.
Yeah, I did really well. I was just in a time crunch on that.
Yeah. But now we're headed back to Mitchell. Is kind of where we gathered up. Yeah, we'll get home a little late, but it was a good match. I thought it was good. It seemed pretty fair. There wasn't anything that was like, well, that wasn't fair between this stage and a stage 5 that comes through later. We had this stuff up top, maybe a calmer wind. I don't know if the wind kind of really picked up later, because then later in the day we were down in the trees. So maybe that kind of took effect, but we were shooting. We still had wind.
We had wind all day.
Maybe not as much wind.
Maybe not as much, but there was wind all day.
Yeah, because there was times where someone would shoot, it would be 2 tenths, the next guy's 0, and then half mil, you know. So we were messing with it a lot.
As we were transitioning, though, across the top of the that's when it was really left and right.
Yeah.
This person was shooting and it was left. Next person would come up and it was right. You know, that was tricky.
Yeah. But yeah, anything else to add, guys?
Well, it's a good time.
That was a great weekend.
Great location.
Yep. Yeah, that location's pretty sweet. I will say there was a couple times that, like, I was worried about a tree or two. because he's got all these lanes going through the trees.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just like, well, I just got to believe it's there. Like, let's go. But yeah, it was good. It was good.
Yeah, he put on a good match.
So yeah, Wes was that match director. Again, it was an NRL22X match at Compound 21. Great host. They had chili there for lunch and chicken noodle soup. It was good. It was real good. Suggest going to that next year if they have it next year. They do have monthly matches too, I think he's doing. He's now part of the Pro Series.
Yeah, he's part of the Pro Series just recently.
Yeah.
Did he?
Yep. So, but because I got that win, now I have 3 wins at 3 different locations for the Pro Series.
Oh, you do?
So now, yep.
I thought you needed one more. I thought you needed 2.
I had a win in Huron. That's Pro Series.
Yeah.
And then I had a win in Mitchell, one of those times. So I'm Pro Series.
Okay.
And I needed a 3rd location. I've never won in Pier because James, he beats me every time. What, today you got 4th or something like that? So I got you. Should have ran that new ammo that you just bought. But, yeah, last time he beat me, he bought the Sky Pod. And he said it was a Sky Pod because he won and beat me there in Pier. So I never had a win in Pier. So now with this win in Pro Series, I'm leading by 5 points. So that's good. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, feel free to leave comments. Obviously, like, subscribe. And then if you like this kind of content of match debrief, let us know. You know, leave likes, comments, stuff like that, of what you want to see and hear. And I'll try to hammer it out. Thanks, guys. Take care.